Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome back to your full-time match reaction show. I'm, of course, your host, The Gov, and we are here following a disappointing, an embarrassing, somebody has just told me walking over there, 1-0 cup defeat. And David, you've joined us because you're not happy. You want to get it off your chest.
Yeah, I wasn't happy before the game.
No, the team selection before the game upset you.
To be fair, I wasn't happy even before the team selection because I knew it was going to happen. It's disrespecting.
Yes.
It disrespects the competition. It disrespects us.
As fans, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
What is it? 12 years since we last had any attempt at a cup competition.
Yeah.
And I would give Mick grief. I'd give Lambert grief, and I'll give McKenna grief. The same thing. It's taking the piss, quite frankly. We're paying. If you're going to put out the stiffs, let us season ticket holders come in for free.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know, it is absolutely disrespecting us to put out a reserve side. With the exception of Wolford and Burgess, that lot aren't going to start on Saturday.
No.
They wouldn't start. It's exactly the same when Lambert claimed everybody was injured and put out nonsense teams.
Yeah.
You knew it was going to happen because although individually you might pick out a player and say, yeah, they can come into the first team, en masse, they've got no rapport. They can't do it. I mean, Harper's been since he signed.
Yep.
Humphreys is lightweight. He's young.
Two glorious chances today, though, David.
Yeah, he got into some good positions. Absolutely. He was. If he'd been playing alongside Evans or alongside Morsey, I think he could have done that. But you put him and Harper in the centre midfield, you've got nothing. Because,
no.
And it's KVY is not a centre back.
No.
He was going far too far forward. He was far more effective going forward than Edwards was, who's not a right wing back.
No, he was disappointed tonight for me.
Because he kept cutting the ball inside. He wasn't going past a player.
Yeah.
You know, which is what we need from flying things. And Jackson's been exactly the player you'd expect from 4 years of seeing him. You know, and
not clinical. Although, to be fair to him, did he really get an opportunity in front of goal tonight?
No, because we didn't have a midfield.
No, true.
All we were doing was going round the outside. Harper would then loop this wild crossover.
Yep.
And there's nobody there because Jackson's game isn't that. Jackson's never been a lone striker.
No, he's always needed somebody to play with him, bounce off him, hasn't he?
And a small little purple patch when McKenna came in before he was injured is the same as Sears coming in and having that little purple patch when Lambert took over and went, oh, look, it's a new signing. And no, it wasn't.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
It's exactly the same. Effectively, we've got 3 central midfielders at the club.
Yeah.
This concerns me.
Okay.
Because El Mazzuni, Humphreys isn't ready, and Harper's a waste of space. Up front, you've got 1 striker.
Yeah.
Because you've got Ladapo. Because Jackson's not that. Chaplin, you could argue the case for being a striker, maybe, but you've got to have some midfield. So I'm concerned about lack of depth in midfield. But basically, I'm just really.
And the disrespect that we've shown the cup again for the
we disrespect
another year in a row, and we're out in the first round.
Yeah, and they'll turn around and say, "Oh, it was a strong side," and all of these things. And what do you mean? Credit to Colchester. They worked hard. They defended hard.
Took their goal well.
Yeah, which was gifted to them, but they took
it was.
And they defended well. So absolute credit to Colchester for playing what we put out and reducing us to half chances.
Absolutely, yeah.
But we didn't have clear-cut chances in that game at all because of their defending. But that was our team selection. Yeah. That game we should have been pissing on, quite frankly. Colchester are not a good side. We are allegedly one of the favourites for promotion from League One, a whole division higher.
Yep.
And we disrespected the competition and we disrespected the fans, and it pisses me off.
He did make 4 changes on about 70 minutes. Obviously, 4 of the big guns came on. Wes Burns, Marcus Harness.
Made a huge difference, didn't it?
Yeah, how did you see it from that point on?
Evans, man of the match. He made a huge difference. He added presence, drive in the centre midfield, and we looked a different side. It's just too little too late. Yeah.
So you would much prefer to have seen us start that way and then make those changes, winning at 70 minutes as opposed to the other way around.
I could understand making... So Davis took a knock in the... in the last game. I can understand that. Burns is possibly a bit jaded after his summer. Yep. I could understand putting KVY in. I could understand actually taking Evans out because he's coming back from injury.
Yeah.
So I can understand making those 3-4 changes like that. Absolutely understand that. But making that many changes, no. Because you gifted it, because it makes it disjointed. You think back to that Preston game in the FA Cup a few years ago.
Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah?
Do I have to?
But it's exactly the same thing. Is the fact that you put 11 players in who haven't played together week in, week out.
And I've said the same thing week in, week out. You know, how many times do you see a performance from one of the squad players when it's wholesale changes? You don't, because it's not a team, is it? It's a group of players.
If he was fit, I would have played Davis and Harness in this one because they need to have those patterns and rhythms.
Yeah, those minutes. Absolutely. I agree with you. Build that partnership.
It's not about having a reserve player having the minutes. That's why you've got the under-23s. That's why you've got the reserves.
Absolutely.
That's how you keep fit there. Your first team, you need to have the patterns and rhythms. You need your defenders to know where this. If he goes forward, you're dropping in there.
Yeah.
If you make that run as a striker, I'm making that run.
Mills always called it partnerships on Radio Suffolk. You need those partnerships.
Absolutely. And if you make wholesale changes, you don't have the partnerships, and that's the disrespect.
Yeah. And again, you're absolutely right. And every year you'll have a set of fans that will say, yeah, but we need to focus on the league.
That's worked really well, hasn't it?
That was my question to you. Obviously, now you can shift that focus, but we have done every single year for the last 12.
If you're Liverpool, or if you're Chelsea, or you're Manchester City,
the big gun in your respective division,
and you've got 25 internationals, and you're making a choice between, I don't know, Mahrez and
an Egyptian international or a Turkish international, or at the top of their game.
You can make several changes. We're not in that ballpark.
No.
We finished we're 9th, 11th, and 11th.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
And we need to build the rhythm and the confidence of winning.
Yeah, at that habit of winning football games.
Yes.
A good chance tonight gone begging.
We are still. I mean, what was it last year? East Anglia and all that was running this great big thing about that wonderful cup run to the semi-final under Keane. Keane was a walking disaster area, but we're still hanging on to that a decade and a bit later.
Yeah, that great Carling Cup run. Yeah. It was called a Carling Cup then.
Yeah. In this competition. What would it do? We're not going to win it because we're League One.
Absolutely, yeah.
But what would it do if we reached the 5th round? To our impetus, the confidence of the players, our enthusiasm and our belief in the team on the terraces. So if you were going to Cheltenham and you were 1-0 down, if you were having that cup run, then you'd believe that little bit more, wouldn't you?
You would. Yeah,
you wouldn't
that extra
have
spring in the step.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
And that would come across that, and if you think players talk about it, that extra spring in your step when you know something's going to go right, you're never going to concede that goal.
Bart's that belief.
Bart's talked about it. He knows that he's not going to concede because he didn't do last game.
Yeah.
Strikers have talked about it. You put that out, and you're taking that away.
Yeah.
If you'd have put out basically the same side that won against Forest Green, and we'd have won 3-0 tonight, then you go into the MK Dons game, and they're an inch taller.
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, and if you do go a goal behind, you have that belief, that collective belief. Absolutely. That you're going to be fine because you look around at each other and you know you can come through anything.
We're going to go into the MK Dons game on the back of a win, a draw, and a defeat.
Yeah.
With people being edgy if it goes wrong.
Absolutely. Yeah. If the worst goes wrong in the first 45, absolutely. Yeah. It could be edgy. Yeah. Particularly because you were here probably for Newport last year as well as I was.
Yes.
Very similar sort of game, David.
If it's a home game, I'm here.
Sorry, Lloyd. Of course you can, Lloyd. Come on in.
I just want to say, what have we got to do to win 3 games in a row? Seriously, it's getting ridiculous. We haven't won 3 games on the bounce in so long?
Yeah, for years.
Under Lambert, that was because we were just shit.
The general consensus from the community here is what is McKenna's plan B? Doesn't really seem to have a plan B.
I think it's really hard to talk on the basis of today because his plan B was to try and go back to the first team. So
what was you saying there just now, David? So you were thinking we've lost the momentum.
I don't know whether we've lost momentum. I'm just annoyed that we haven't built any momentum.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that we've lost momentum directly and this is going to damage our season overall. I'm just saying that it could have been a step up.
Yeah.
It would have definitely helped the second team get some confidence, and when they're called into the next games, they can get in. But it feels like an opportunity wasted.
But I just don't agree with all these changes. Really don't agree. It annoys me. It disrespects us and the competition.
And we were saying, was there anyone you saw out there tonight making a claim for the shirt. We were sort of sitting there, me and Lewis were sitting there. No one sort of said, "I'll grab that shirt for Saturday." There was none of that going on, was it?
The only one would probably possibly be Lee. I thought he was solid throughout.
Yeah.
But the rest of them, no.
I believe we saw probably Harper's weakest game in a blue shirt. He was
Davey's off for a drink, everybody.
pretty much next to useless.
Say again, man.
Right.
Go on. Come in, face the camera.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Face the camera. Face the camera.
David, I've heard most of all what you said, right? Okay, but I want to ask you one question, and this is not being nasty or horrible or anything. The one question I was, you were saying about being disrespectful to the tournament and all that, right? Now I understand what you're saying, right? Because I'm not going to ask you how old you are, right?
51.
You go back, well, you kind of go back, right? So you remember the days where, in your opinion, then you would respect the tournament, and I understand that. But the question I want to ask you, mate, is this, and this is a friendly question. When that team was announced tonight, did you honestly think, hand on heart, did you honestly think that team would lose to Colchester United?
Yes.
You really did? That's easy.
No,
David, can I answer that? That's easy to say in hindsight, David.
I said it in the pub. I said it on Twitter.
That's fair enough.
I said it on WhatsApp.
Fair enough. I thought that. I must admit, I thought that team would have been good enough to beat Colchester. And also, can I just say, David, 2 players in. I know you got them on your shirt. Fine, great serving the club. But look, it must have been, 22, 23 degrees when we started that game tonight, which is really, really warm for a night game, right? Are you telling me that with 2 players in a side that start and both nearly finished the game, both 36 years of age, and you're like starting some of the players that we start, people like Cameron Humphreys, you're telling me that they shouldn't be out of or pick like John Jules, right? They should be Caden Jackson. My problem is, David, they should be running. They should be running them ragged.
If
boys, really,
on the face of it, the players are better than Colchester's. My problem was by making all those changes, you have a disjointed side. That's my problem.
Yeah, no, I get that. I get that.
That's why.
100%.
And it was the same with Mick against Hull. It was the same as Lambert. It's the same as the Preston game. The individual players, I don't have a problem with.
No.
It's the multiple changes which leads to a disjointed performance, and that's what we saw there.
I'm not. Look, I wouldn't argue against that. All I'm saying, in fact, I think you're 100% right.
If you'd have made,
can you see my side of it? Can you see my side of it?
There's a lot of hindsight goes on. Yeah.
Because I'm agreeing with you, but you've got to agree with me. The fact look, this is a 2-way street, not a 1-way street. You've got to see the fact that you got players that are 18. At their age, Rich.
Don't agree with that. Just because you're younger, don't mean you're fitter than somebody, Colin.
What you're telling me that Caden Jackson shouldn't be running rings around people like Luke Chambers at 75?
Caden Jackson didn't run rings around anybody all night. He hardly got in the game.
No,
he wasn't in the game.
I'm not disputing that, Rich, but they should be doing that.
Yeah, but we've seen Caden Jackson for 5 years down here, Colin, and we know what he brings. You know.
I'll actually repeat what I said when I came out and go to Matt and to Lewis Robertson. I'll tell you what, off the bench, that bloke, for me, that bloke is never, unless we had a horrendous amount of injuries, that bloke is never starting in the 11 for me. Caden Jackson. He's not going to be starting 11. He's not going to be in the starting 11, you know, for me. I hate to say that, but that's how I feel.
What do you think then, mate?
Well, I mean, what I'm more worried about is it's not the manner of like how we go out of the cup, because we're used to this now.
Yeah,
I can't really complain about that.
Standard.
But what I'm annoyed about is the fact that second string side again is poor. Look at what we had today.
Yeah.
Right, against a COU side. Some of those players are meant to be League One quality, right?
Oh yeah.
But where are they showing that?
Well, they didn't, did they?
Someone like Edwards, right? We rave about him, got a box of tricks, low-end products.
Yeah.
You know, someone like Harper comes from the same place as him,
the stinker.
West Brom. Shit.
He was awful all night, and it didn't get much better after the pass for I mean, I've seen it on the replay, and it doesn't look any better.
It's schoolboy
Slack.
stuff. It's schoolboy stuff.
Yeah.
You know, we've all played football at a youth level, right?
Don't
And
pass across your
what
box.
does your coach always say?
Don't pass across your area. But saying that, listen, we've gone in 1-0 down there, Touch, but we've had 3 golden chances that first half.
We have.
Greg Leach has scored at 0-0.
Yeah.
And Cameron Humphreys, he's not even tested the keeper from 12 yards twice.
But this is my other worry, that, you know, we will play teams like Col U where they stick 11, 10 men behind the ball.
Don't find the answer.
Every game, right? You know, and then you'll come up against Sheffield Wednesday or Pompey that will give you a good game. But majority of this league will stick 10 men behind the ball. We still haven't got an answer. Whatever team we've got. I know that's our second string side we put out tonight, but we still got no answer.
I said tonight, Tux, we still can't the big, like it was tonight, we can't break the big red wall down. We just can't do it.
It's ridiculous. You can have all the possession you want in a game of football.
We had 78% possession. I think we had 580 odd passes. But
who comes away with winning
passing for passing's sake. And it's another opportunity, you know, to build on Saturday. I said the other day, it's that winning mentality. You get that momentum. Win today, win Saturday. But there's another one. We're out the cup early again. Shock. And you're back to square one a little bit. None of them there tonight have done their chances of getting a start on Saturday. You know, like John Jules, he was all right, but he's more of an impact sub for me. Jackson, we just spoke about him.
Well, I thought Lewis had it bang on earlier. He said that, you know, there's certain players that McKenna will see now that aren't quite
the bench and when the teams are getting tired. I thought he'd done better second half. First off, I hardly noticed that he was on the field, but he was just one of them games you sat there and you're thinking, we're going to score, but we don't. But another thing, we try and pass through teams, don't we? We try and pass through teams when you can't. You can't do that.
How many times did we see that performance last year? How many times?
It's just rinse and repeat, isn't it? Yeah. It's nothing really new that we learned there tonight that we didn't really know. You know, a team comes and parks the bus and we still can't break them down, can we, Mike? We can't. We've got nothing different. This is where I'm saying we need. I was talking to Lewis. We were talking before the game, weren't we? Like Colby Bishop went to Pompey. He might not be you don't need people like centre forward who's the best footballer. No. You've got to have a bit of physical presence and stick a ball in a box where he can 1v1 and he can win a header. We ain't got that. We still haven't got that, and the time's ticking. And it worries me if we didn't get a striker in this season. We might just scrape in the playoffs, but we need. Joe Pigott scored tonight, didn't he? Scored tonight. He gives you something. Look, I know he had a stinker last season, but he would give you something, a bit of physicality. I'm not saying, but I'm saying we need someone with a bit of physicality out there, Mike. But it seems as though we'll play one way this season. We'll pass teams to death. Yeah. But it's all about scoring goals. I don't want to be too downcast because let's hope Saturday.
I paid money to come and watch it, see?
You don't come very often, so you need to see a win, don't you, when you're here?
Been every last 2 home games.
Oh, you've been every time. Oh, last 2. It's like Colin said. What would we all take? Would we take a defeat tonight and 3 points on Saturday?
Oh, so that's not the defeat. It's the manner of the defeat.
I don't think we played terrible. We're not terrible. No. We're not terrible.
We're not playing woefully.
But we're not terrible, Mike.
Again. There's just no answer.
Well, if you think that was good football, you think that was good to watch. I'm shocked.
Good at times.
Well, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, thank you, Jake. It was good at times, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible, was it? No. But it's the same old. It's football without you're passing the ball without a purpose sometimes, isn't you? It's end product.
Well, all the tippy tappy football in the world is never going to. It's never going to get. You know, maybe I'm a bit old school, but you know, sometimes you don't have to play out from the back.
They're even doing it with about 3 minutes to go, pissing about with the ball.
What is that all about?
Get it forward.
Look,
get the ball forward.
Fucking hell.
Anyway, Mike, just want to talk about the highlight of the night. Was the guy running on the pitch?
I didn't see it. I was in the toilet.
You didn't see it?
No.
Oh, it was quality.
I was like, Joe, what? I've had nothing, so I needed to drain the main vein. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
That was better than our performers.
He went running on the touchline, jinking about, he was, and then he tried to jump over the hoardings and probably didn't know how far it was down, and then he sort of ran up a blind alley, a bit like Kyle Edwards did all night.
I don't think Edwards did much wrong there. I just
Tux is right. flicks and tricks, and he's like you say, he's got no end product, has he?
He's not,
no end product.
No.
But he did lay. To be fair to him, he laid one on the plate for Cameron Humphreys first half, side foot in the net. So
it does seem like it's a bit of if-onlys and maybes, but I didn't think we played particularly great tonight. I thought there was at times it would look good,
lots of possession. But you know, possession's not turning into anything. That's what I'm concerned.
Under Lambert, we had possession. Under Cook, we had a possession. Under Kieran McKenna, we had possession. Yeah. And it seems like no one's learning. Yeah. No one's got a plan B. Yeah. We never had it under Lambert, never had it under Cook. We're not having it under Kieran McKenna. Yeah. It's plan A with the same fucking players.
Yeah,
so in all fairness, where is the progress? Okay, we beat Forest Green, a team that got promoted, which we didn't do last season. But again, the same thing has happened this year. We've played in a Mickey Mouse Cup. I'm not fussed that we've lost. I'm more annoyed about the manner of the loss.
I'm annoyed we lost because I want to win in mentality. I want to win in mentality.
Yeah, I agree. But what I'm saying
is, just be saying, "Oh, it's the cup we've gone out."
Yeah, okay. Look, it's a cup. Look, but it's a Mickey Mouse Cup. It means nothing. But it's still, them players should have gone out there tonight. And there was players like Raheem Harper, right, who lost the ball, God knows how many times in that first half, and then put an absolute suicide pass across the box.
Him over there.
Yeah.
You know, have you seen the Homer Simpson gif where he slides back into the hedge? That was Martin. That was Martin in his seat when he came up and gave that goal away. He's like,
I'm going back
over here, where at? But, look, we're all annoyed that we've lost, but
I'm annoyed because I come here with my brother. We don't normally normally come to the cup games. We only get to go to the Moss Lane. So I said, look, we'll go. I've got my young lad here tonight as well, and he says he nails it on the head. There's players out there with no composure, and I know this is League One. Right, but these players want to get prepared for the championship, and then half that side probably what. I mean, look, I like Cameron Humphreys. There's something about him, but you know, I like him tonight. But half that squad is not going to be championship ready, are they? Let's be honest.
This is what I'm saying about when we're going back to what we said before the game about Keogh. Someone like him, he brings that mentality.
Yeah, but he's not scoring us goals.
No, Mike, I don't know why we're talking about championship ready. We're not League One ready.
No, do you know what? Absolutely, yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, you're spot on. We haven't got strength and depth like we think we have.
Come on, here you come. Come on, Colin. What you got to say? Turn to the camera.
Liam Gibbs should never have been allowed to leave this football club.
He wanted out, didn't he?
No, I don't know. I know his father and his mum. I'll tell you what, Liam Gibbs should never have been allowed to leave this football club. Kieran can say what he like. I'm not going to say Cameron's not a good footballer because he is a good footballer. But I'll tell you what, Liam's more than his equal. He should never ever been allowed to leave this football club, in my opinion. But he has. And
yeah, but that was under a different regime. That was under a different regime. That's history.
But I'm saying, Mike's absolutely right about Cameron. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you something. This is a God's honest, and I would put my life in it. I'll tell you what. Nice as Liam.
No, but you said you'd play him instead of Chaplin.
I would, yeah.
No chance.
Tell me what Chaplin's done because he
needs a loan. Cameron Humphreys needs a loan.
Didn't you, Jake? You said exactly about Chaplin, yeah. And just play football, a lot better player. But he doesn't. He has to try even tonight he tried the Hollywood shot. And it looked good from where we were, but it was about good.
You said you're quite impressed.
I was impressed, but I'm telling you now, it was about 4 yards wide.
But there's no way in the world that Cameron Humphreys would play instead of Connor Chaplin.
Well, that's just some bad opinions, isn't it?
Yeah, but
well, tell me, you know,
Chaplin scored 11, 12 goals last season.
Okay, where are the goals coming from this season?
Mike, he's played fucking 2 games.
Where's the goals coming from?
Over 2 games, mate.
No, I'm not losing my head over 2 games. No, I'm not.
2 games.
We played 3 games, including the cup game.
He's played 20 minutes off the bench. Chaplin will score 10 plus this season. Who?
Him.
We've had 3 games.
Who are you playing for Chaplin?
Sorry?
Cameron Humphreys.
I put absolutely. Absolutely. I would.
12 goals last year.
12 goals. He scored 12. Hang on. Oh, so he scored 12 goals. And where did we finish? There we are. Shut up.
11th.
Enough said.
I don't really know where to go now after that. What do you make of that?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Man of the match was that left back for Colchester.
He was standing.
Yeah.
He was. Was outstanding. Mine. About enough for tonight. Who's back tomorrow? Who are you on with?
Alex and Mark, your friend Mark.
My friend Mark Dowling. Oh, Mark from Ireland. Yeah, I'm sure he'll be raving about Cave.
Ipswich Buses, your local bus company. Don't get stuck in traffic. Ditch the car. Go green. Go contactless. Go Ipswich Buses. Fares available from £2.20 return, a fantastic price and a fantastic service. Ipswich Buses.